Hey guys, it's Alex Williamson. You're gonna hear this introduction twice, but it's a secret history living in your aquarium. We are getting back tonight from a long day. I went out collecting first thing to Green Lake, Washington, and also to a few other little lakes around the city collecting some plants because we had a fish club meetup and picnic this afternoon. And we also had some fun going out with Lawrence Kent, really brilliant guy who's been all over the place, knows a ton about cichlids and also native fish. And we went and explored and found some rock bass and as well as some smallmouth bass, some catfish, two types of catfish, some sculpins, and maybe a few mystery fish as well. So we've got some really great photos also in the community tab, but I just wanted to give this little intro because the rest of the video is going to be a bit of a vlog style as we kind of just went throughout the day. And so here we go. I just wanted to bring you guys along because we saw a lot of great species, and just the height of summer, this is what you get around here. So let's take a ride through the city of Seattle and looking at some of the amazing native fish we have here. All right. Hey guys, it's Alexander Williamson here with the secret history living in your lake or river or aquarium or wherever fish are found. So today we are at beautiful Green Lake, Washington. It quite literally used to be a garbage dump, as is the story with so many lakes and parks in this area. We logged and mined and whatever, took the bog peat moss away from just about every spot in the area that had resources, and then we decided to fill them in, make them dumps and sewer treatment plants and things like that. And only by the 1960s or so, there's a pivotal work by a woman named Rachel Carson called Silent Spring, and it's about DDT and how bald eagles were being killed. Their eggs were becoming too thin to support themselves, and the shells were cracking, and the baby eaglets were not surviving. And so with the ceasing of using DDT, which used to be sprayed literally on people, if you're of a certain age, you may even remember like crop dusting planes coming by and doing this. It changed the point of view of how we should look after our lakes and things. And it has taken over 50 years, but finally now we're getting a lake that is connected to that whole bog system up by my house. This is about 4 or 5 miles south of my house and in the city of Seattle proper. Let me turn this around. So you guys, if you come to Seattle, there's a good chance you'd visit this place on a sunny day. It's a very popular spot in that it's got a 3-mile loop trail around it, and it's got some island, it's got an island over there in it, and it's got turtles and fishing and all sorts of stuff going on. And the water's gotten pretty clear. You can see here, you can see some fish going on. Whatever those are really quick, and I can't seem to catch them, and they tease me and they come to my feet, and then I can't do anything about it. But I have caught several different fish, and they are waiting to show you guys. So we will commence with showing you that, but I just wanted to show you some of the habitat real quick too. We've got a lot of plants, both invasive and native, a lot of mint, a lot of Ludwigia, and stuff like that. So, and also if you can make them out, we've got sculpin right here in our water, and they're just hanging out in the shallows, and I can get these by the dozen, by the hundreds probably. Let's see, where did that other fish go that was taunting me? We'll make a go at the sculpins with the net that I have here, which I do have. I contacted the maker of this net after borrowing this net from Lawrence for the last few weeks now, and this is the best net I've ever had. It's and it's made by Jonahs Aquatics, and they also sell a lot of equipment for catching fish, but also they cater to selling native species as well. Can you guys see the darters there, or not darters, the sculpins there? So these are a brackish fish, but this is all freshwater here, but these guys can go from salt to fresh and back, and they're really ubiquitous, like the sticklebacks, in Washington state waters. They're darting all over the place around here. They are kind of our darters as far as that goes, but just seeing there's more swimming around, even just right at my toes. So I'm gonna make a go for them. Let me get my bearing down. But usually the best way to catch these, I mean, we actually had them spotted. Where did they go? When I move the net near them, they'll move again. They're such good camouflage. They have such good camouflage, rather. English, speak it, Alex. But they'll run right into the shallows, and literally you kind of just have to, let's try to do this with, let me zoom out, and we'll try to do it. We'll try to get something around the bend here where they're not expecting us yet. But really, I mean, you just kind of chase them right up into the shallows, and then boom, you just kind of run the net up in here and hope you got one. And with, yep, we've got one. So let's go back to the collecting pot, as it were, and I'll show you what we've got so far. I just wanted to show you guys, take some still pictures, and then obviously we're putting anything back from here, unless it's some incredible find or something that's incredibly not supposed to be here. But I actually do have a fish that I'm saving for later in that container, and we'll check it out later. But here we are with this little sculpin, and let's take a cut. I'll get out of the water, and we'll take a look at everything up close in the sunlight and everything, and get some still shots too. All right, guys, so we have a treat here. We have some really beautiful fish, and I can't tell if they're just going to be some sort of like little warmouths or you know, bluegill type fish, or perch, I suppose. Honestly, I'm gonna have to do some research. I don't know when they're this small. This is my first year coming out to look for fry, so we'll have to do some investigating, and I can tell you more later, and then hopefully we can get some B-roll today, and I can overdub, come on, each species later. But right here we got a whole pile of sculpins, just doing their thing, doing their sculpiny dopiny thing. They're all just caught right from the shore with the dip net, and like I said, man, that dip net is crazy good. So I just want to show people where they can get it, that's all. Because I've had so many over the years just to play around with for fishing, and most of them don't last long, or they're just kind of garbage, and this one is pretty great. But yeah, I think all three of these are the same fish species, I think. And then the sculpin, I think there's two species. I think we have a darter, because some of them have two, like this one here has two dorsal fins, whereas the other ones don't. But it could be that we just have female and male dimorphism that I'm not aware of. So I'll try to fill you guys in more on that later too. Alright guys, I want to show you some of the active camouflage in these little sculpins too. So I put them in the sun, and I put some rocks and sticks in. But check out this blonde guy hanging out on the blonde wood. I mean, he's hanging out, making sure he stays over there for the most part. Then there's the guys near the whitest wood seem to have the most white. Now, I don't know if they came in that way, because there's a certain amount of diversity that just happens. But they definitely have sort of organized so that the blotchy dark ones and varied ones, calico ones, stay on the little pebbles and rocks, and then the lighter color ones are staying on the light. stuff, and then the darkest ones are in the shadows in between the rocks. So kind of an interesting little thing going on there. And you can see them swimming here. Some of them, like I said, I don't know if there's two species or a male and female difference, because some of them have two dorsal fins, it appears, and others have just one. And I don't know the difference of what's going on there. And then we also have these, I don't know if they're crappie or warmouth or perch or what the heck they are. Just because I've never gone out and intentionally caught any of these species here this young. And I don't know the differences when they're this young. So hopefully we'll sort all that out when we get back to the lab. But I just wanted to show you guys some of the variation that happens within our sculpin populations in the freshwater here. And they're definitely little micro predators. They're just like a little goby basically, but they're a lot of fun to watch. Well, they may not be the most exotic thing, but they are, I mean, if these were Corridoras, imagine how excited we'd be.
Yeah, they're still pretty.
They are really neat. The sensory organs on these things are just insane. If you think about the fact that they can taste the water all around them with their entire body. Even the least sensitive catfish species has 1,900 taste buds, I was reading, on the outside of their body. Yeah, and they also have, depending on the species, electromagnetic sensing and electromagnetic field, like the Earth's larger field rather than... Something get you?
I think it's just a snake.
Yeah. I got nailed by one of the dragonfly things, and I was surprised how strong its jaws were.
Oh, really? It just clamped on you?
Yeah, it just clamped on. So this bullhead looks like it's got a white or a clear body or a green body and then black fins, whereas the other ones have black fin, well, we got a mix, I guess. Some have black everything, and some have kind of a green translucent thing going on. Alright, try again. I'm surprised anything's left that hasn't darted out of the water for us here. So then we've got a hydrocaudal species, and it looks like Elodia and horn, no, that's some sort of Myraphyllum, the other species. But we're just under the freeway here in Seattle, and there is Lake Washington out that way, and an unnamed slough, no, it's the Mercer Slough, right here, which turns into Kelsey Creek, I believe, or at least drains into Kelsey Creek. And Lawrence is madly catching catfish like there's no tomorrow. Now we need to go and say we've got some exotic new species of, yeah, bullhead. Lawrencii. It's got a good ring to it.
We can bring those to the picnic and trade them for...
You know, you're probably right. And then we've got a stickleback here, 3-spine stickleback, and then we also have a sculpin, which looks like a coastal sculpin probably, with the orange markings there. Let's see what else we find. That's probably better light, yeah. Wow. That's, how many do you think are in there? 100? 50?
Yeah, it's probably 50.
50, yeah. That is impressive, Lawrence, for, what, 15 minutes?
Yeah. If you're looking for bullheads, we hit the bigger.
Yeah, apparently we know where they spawn, somewhere around here. That's alright, guys, so we're gonna try casting now. We're gonna cast over into that ray of light, maybe a little past it. There is an outflow pipe. Follow my pole. There's an outflow pipe there, and let's see what we can get. There's kind of this cool effect going on up here too, but let's try this out. Try this one-handed. Nope. That wasn't gonna happen. Hold on. Let's try this again. Terrible cast distance, but I'm surprised with one hand that I was able to flip the bail and do it. We'll do that off film. You get the idea. Alright, so we've got stickleback up here with multiple patterns. Chessboard, zebra. I don't see any circular patterns. So they're all kind of reedy. They're probably all from the same group, those ones. And then we've got an adult here, which at first I thought was a female with the red and bronze, but now I'm not so sure. It could be a big male, but looks more like a female to me. Beautiful eye. And we've got a coastal sculpin here. You can see the spikes on it. And then while we're talking about it, here comes the bullheads, little catfish. And then we should have a few more little sculpins in there. And then there's one rock bass or some sort of little panfish. I don't know where it went. But this guy right here, these are different than the other sculpin. They have, or it might be male versus female. Oh, there's yours. There's the little panfish up there. So this is probably a rock bass, but we don't know for certain yet. But nice catches, Lawrence. Man. Alright, so we're just fishing here in the shallows at a boat launch in Bellevue. And we have this nice little bass with a yellow tail. And let's see if it'll show up. The tail is not super bright at this angle, but it was at one point. Come on, come around to the other side, buddy. There we go. And he's got a nice orange yellow eye too, but really nice little patterns on its back and side. It's got the tiger stripe and then the spangling. Big mouth for a little fish, probably a largemouth bass. Very cool. Oh, so you just, yeah, you scooped up. I think that's all the catfish we had around the bend.
Jeez.
Wow.
That's a lot of catfish. Wow.
Those bullfrogs have lots of food if they want it.
Yeah.
I mean, they have small mouths when they're those things, but there are a lot of pollywog. They have legs yet?
These guys, yeah, that one's got legs.
Yeah, starting to. This if they're this late in the season and they don't, they're in trouble. Don't get stung.
Yeah, I got it.
Had enough of that today.
Alright, I'm gonna put them back.
Yeah, go for it. I don't know, they still just make me laugh even though they're invasive. They're just such big goofy. Look at the catfish swim. Boy, they're going right into the mud.
Yeah, aren't they?
Yep. It's hot too. I mean, that's probably 80-degree water.
Yeah, you're right.
At least. I wonder if they're okay with that or if that's not good in the long run. There's a bass. There we go. There's the bass. Back in the water.